Everybody, and welcome back to another raw video episode shot here by the lake on this beautiful gorgeous morning with a very calm lake behind me. Always stunning when it's like this. So today I wanted to talk about the validity of a body of planetary bodies known as asteroids, come under the umbrella term asteroids, and whether they have a place in astrology. Certainly in modern astrology, I think they do personally have a place. There are over 23,000 of them, which is a lot. And obviously as an astrologer, we're not going to plot all 23,000 plus asteroids in somebody's chart. That would be ridiculous and not helpful. But there are certain ones that certainly add at very least a flavour to astrology interpretation. And some have become quite popular over the last few years. Ceres, for example, Pallas, Athene, Vesta and Juno, collectively known as the goddess asteroids, have tended to be increasingly used and recognised, and they certainly have quite a strong impact, I feel. So yeah, it's a really interesting branch of astrology, and to be honest, it's what first really piqued my interest in going much deeper with astrology and eventually becoming professional. So I have a lot to thank these asteroids for. Being the nerd that I am, I've also plotted several hundred asteroids in a database and will continue to do that and continue to explore them and work with them. But I have, I have respect for traditional astrology, which often says, no, we should be sticking with just the known major planets, and certainly there's some common sense in that for sure. But as I say, I like to push the boundaries, and I think there's a lot to be said for including at least some of the asteroids. And it's really, as it always is, a very scientific thing. So what we do is we have a look at the interpretation of an asteroid and actually just look at examples and see if it's valid, and if not, then we can discard them. We don't have to use them. But in my experience of reading many hundreds of charts, then there's certainly a good reason, I think, to include some of them. So I shall continue to explore and build my database, and hopefully one day share that. But of course, like anything in astrology, it takes a lot of study time and looking at many charts to actually prove the validity of any planetary body. So that's my take on the asteroid group. And of course, as I say, total respect for those who wish to stick with planets and angles. Nothing wrong with that at all. And focusing interpretation on those areas, but I'm all for expanding and taking things into the future, so I will also continue to discover more and use them in my interpretations if I feel they add something to a reading. Anyway, wishing you all a beautiful weekend ahead. Now we're in April, and I've written the forecast for the first couple of weeks of April, and we'll also be doing a video on eclipses, which of course we've got one or a pair of them coming up later in April at the new moon around the 21st, I think that was. So it'll be interesting to have a little video on that, I think, at some point. Anyway, wishing you lots of love, and thank you for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed it, and consider, perhaps if you haven't already, subscribing to help the channel grow. Sending you much love on this 1st of April day.